this card?
It was authorized
Okay.
and they didn't have a, they just wanted to know what was going on.
We're good? All right, call me to order, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is an open meeting of the Seward, Nebraska governing body. The city of Seward abides by the Nebraska Open Meetings Act in conducting business. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is displayed on the north wall of this meeting room facility as required. Disclosure of meeting recording processes is posted in the meeting room. Any citizen may address the council regarding items included on the agenda and are asked to complete and hand in a speaker card to the clerk. Presenters shall approach the podium, state their name and address for the clerk's record, and are asked to limit remarks to 5 minutes. All remarks shall be directed to the mayor, who shall determine by him any appropriate response shall be made. The city of Seward reserves the right to adjust the order of items on this agenda if necessary, and may elect to take action on any of the items listed. Please call the roll.
Taylor. Here. Coulterman. Here. Streisand.
Here.
Singleton.
Here.
Morgan.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Franciscato.
Here.
We have a quorum present.
All right, thank you. The first 6 items make up the evening consent agenda.
I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor of Franciscato, Taylor, Coulterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan. 7-0.
Thank you. Next we have public hearings. Item number 1, 7 p.m. Consideration of issuance of a house moving permit application for Chad Withers, 407 South Street. Welcome.
Evening, Council, Mayor. What we have is a little bit of a different house moving permit than we normally deal with. Normally, the purpose of a house moving permit is to assure that the structure within the city limits of Seward or moving into the city limits of Seward meets Seward standards and International Code Council standards. In this situation, Chad is electing to pick up his home here in town and move it to Pleasantdale. He is aware of everything that goes along with moving the house. He has to remove the basement foundation, disconnect and cap all the services that go with it. His goal was to do it within the next couple of weeks, by Christmas at the very latest. However, there's a couple of hitches that go along with this one. They're having a difficult time correlating with Windstream on their move, and not knowing what Windstream has in the way. They've met with NPPD. NPPD has a very large voltage line along the path that needs to be de-energized. And so they need 2 weeks to backfeed the residents that are on that line. Our city electric has all their apparatus in place, so they're ready to go when it comes time to move it up 4th Street, east out of town, down Highway 34. With that, I would recommend, since we don't know the date, that we put a 180-day time frame on this. If weather gets in their way, it may not happen by Christmas. If it gets out to this spring and May, a normal building permit's 180 days anyway by code. So we revisit, if it doesn't happen by May 18th, then we come before the council and revisit it and see why it didn't and what we need to do going forward. With that, Chad is here to speak. If you have any questions, that's what I got.
Thank you, Tim. Chad, do you want to say it?
No, I appreciate the opportunity. I came over in case anybody had any questions, but Tim knows better than I do. I just live there. We're just picking it up and moving it. I'll do whatever you tell me to do to make sure that happens.
Sounds good. We'll
Thank
do
you.
is, yeah, no problem. It's a public hearing, so let's open up the public comment portion of the public hearing. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item, please come forward at this time. Seeing no one wishing to comment, I will close the public comment portion of the public hearing, return to the council for any questions or comments or discussion. Tim, you said this is a little bit different than what we would normally do. Is this because of the distance?
Not just because it's going out of town instead of
Okay.
coming into town or moving around town.
Okay.
So, no disrespect to Chad, but, you know, we don't care what it's like going to Pleasantdale.
Yeah, you hit the city limits,
Yeah.
it's the Wild West.
It's taillight guaranteed, so.
Yeah, I think we moved a drain bin one time and we just put a stick up on the line and
Yeah.
went underneath them, but.
Exactly.
Alright, any questions or comments from the council, or entertain a motion?
Move approved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second for approval, is there further discussion, Greg?
Just wanna note, should we make that motion contingent to the 180 days?
180.
I would, yes.
Okay.
I'm good with
And
that.
that's your motion,
Yeah.
that's the second, 180 days, okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Franciscato, Kaler, Colchman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
Thanks. That wasn't too painful, was it?
No, thank you. I
You're
appreciate-
welcome to stay, but I understand you may have
No.
other commitments.
No, I'm a criminal defense attorney. If you guys were a jury, I'd stay all night. Not guilty.
I'll get him out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Item 2, public hearing, 7 PM, consideration of an ordinance approving the preliminary and final plat and Prairie View First Edition. Tim, welcome back.
Thank you. All right, this is the second phase of Prairie View Edition. As you remember, there's 35 houses that went in. I think there's still 5 lots available out there. But for the most part, it's gone pretty well. This is a 17 family or single family residential lots going in, still R3 zone. The second phase does sit entirely within the city limits, so there's no need to annex anything that goes with it. We reviewed it in relation to the preliminary plat that was accepted for the entire subdivision, and everything fits. The subdivision agreement, there were a few modifications on it. One being that we are allowing a 6-inch water main on the internal streets of this subdivision. City engineer Onaby and water director Call have run the calcs, and they're okay with fire flow. It meets everything that we need. And, so we updated the subdivision agreement to reflect that. And then electric, as you recall, we have a new aid to construction ordinance. The superintendent Hochstein's working through, and so he's putting those numbers together for Olson and for Bob to review as part of this subdivision. It was recommended by Planning Commission 7-0 to accept both the subdivision agreement as written and the final plat for Prairie View First Edition. With that, we do have Brandon Bartek here from Olson to speak on behalf, if you have any questions for him.
Yeah, Brandon Bartek, with Olson, engineer on the project, here on behalf of Aspen Builders. Be happy to answer any questions you folks have.
Any questions or comments from the council?
The only thing I would bring up is, they maybe need to clean that diversion pond out a little better, for good drainage.
Is that the retention one along Highway 34?
It's growed up in weeds, and
Okay.
I think we need to maintain that a little bit more.
I assume you can relay that back.
Yeah, absolutely,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the council? It is a public hearing, so I will open up the public comment portion of the public hearing. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item, please come forward at this time. Seeing no one, I will go ahead and close the public comment portion of the public hearing, return to the council for any further discussion.
Tim, one of the things you talked about was the 6-inch water mains?
Yeah.
What, is that bigger or smaller than what?
That's smaller. Normally, we require an 8-inch water main.
Okay.
But when all this started way back 3 years ago and in discussions with Aspen Homes, I know engineer Onaby was involved and Olson and all the calculations, and it was agreed upon at that time, and we accepted it as a city as part of the preliminary plat that the 6-inch would meet the requirements of fire flow.
Okay.
And essentially, and I can look through the design documents and stuff, but there is a ring of 8-inch or
8,
larger
correct.
that goes around the whole development, and then it's just kind of the internal
And the
crosses.
internal of theirs.
Yep, and
There's
so
two
we,
internal streets that,
yep, and so we went
are
in and
6-inch.
rechecked fire flows, and then I think originally we even had Did we have JEO look at that originally on ARPI?
It was Olson that did the modeling work
Okay.
at that time.
But we did have modeling work
Yeah,
done.
we had
Did
modeling done
work
and,
done of the 6-inch.
and we went back and did re-verify it here before planning commission. So,
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from the council? It is an ordinance, if someone would like to introduce the ordinance.
I'll introduce the ordinance.
Alright. In order to approve the plat entitled Prairie View First Edition, a plat of land located in the southeast quarter of the southwest quarter and a portion of the southwest quarter of the southwest quarter of section 22, township 11 north, range 3 east of the 6 p.m. Seward, County, Nebraska, as hereinafter set forth, to provide for publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form, to provide for a time when this ordinance shall take effect. The ordinance has been read by title and is designated as ordinance number 2025-30, and the title is hereby approved. I need a motion to dispense with statutory rule.
Also move.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Taylor, Colchman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
This is ordinance number 2025-30. Would anyone like to move that this ordinance be passed and adopted as read?
So move. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question is, shall ordinance number 2025-30 be finally passed and adopted? Please register your vote. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Taylor, Colchman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
And this is the only ordinance this evening, so I need one motion to make the ordinance a part of the permanent record.
So moved.
A motion and a second. Please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Taylor, Colchman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
Alright, thank you. Under administrative items, item number 1, consideration of a long-term lease with Seward Public Schools for Plum Creek Memorial Field. Greg Witcher.
Yes, we discussed this item about a month ago or so in regards to a long-term lease that was requested as part of our discussions with Seward Public School District. A reminder to you, both through their turf project that they've undertaken in that nonprofit entity, along with the current plans for their school bond issue proposed for later this winter. Substantial amount of money and design has gone into looking at providing turf and other amenities to the Legion Field. We know that Concordia has kind of moved on to a new hybrid field on campus is their plan as well. And so we've worked through this item and ultimately came up to the city's still not using it. We're the ones maintaining it. We have no active programming whatsoever being utilized on it. The Legion is now taking over the Legion baseball team as well. And so we don't put on any programming on that. We're strictly just maintaining it and mediating the parties involved there. And through that conversation, with the substantial sum that potentially the school district may invest in that facility and their high level of use of it, it made sense for them to maintain it and to work with Concordia for the use of it in the short term while Concordia also spins up their plans. And so that item was, by your request, was taken back to the Parks and Rec Committee. And that was approved unanimously to move forward with a potential lease, that they were okay with that at their meeting. The lease was drafted up between myself and Dr. Fields and the city attorney and the school district's attorney. Kelly and I gave our input. We added a few elements to that, and that ultimately went before the school board in November. The school board approved that lease, and then the final version came back to me and Kelly. Kelly has looked at this and is in approval of it as well. So now it is in your hands to undertake a long-term lease. The lease is for a 30-year period, which kind of coincides with the expected lifespan and resurface of the field. And so that kind of was the expectation of the school board, that we matched the expected use of the investments that they would put into it. Seems reasonable. Again, the amount is for $1, because really this is them taking over the maintenance requirements. Everything's in there. There's also a map we'll work closely between our maintenance teams to make sure we're taking care of things on the peripheral of it. We also note that the storage building and the batting cages that are located adjacent to it will also be the responsibility of the school district, and that was outlined in there as well. Other than that, that's what we have before you. We can answer any questions, and I know we have representatives from the school district and the turf committee here as well, so.
We'll start with the council. Anything from the council, have any questions or comments on this item? We've had, historically, we've had a very good working relationship with the school district, and, sometimes these long-term agreements can make you a little nervous, because 30 years is a long time, but, I think so the understanding is that as we continue down this path, we can always have discussions moving forward if things need to be addressed along the way. I think that's never been an issue with the school district, so I just that would continue. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item?
Dr. Fields made mention of that when he was visiting the other day about the length of the term. He said there was a clause in there or something that if there was ever a change on either party, that they could revisit and rework it.
Yeah.
He talked highly about the relationship that he had with the city,
So the 30 years for finance purposes and other reasons makes sense to have some structure or I guess expectation, but I feel much more comfortable having to have discussions with this than I did with the NPPD contract. You all agreed to. So with that said, great.
The other thing I would note is there is also a strong relationship and correlation between the city and the school district in regards to sharing of facilities. And so we utilize a lot of school facilities for our programming, and that relationship goes vice versa, whether it's a cross-country race, having other, we're still keeping softball down on our fields and things like that, but those are also fields that we utilize for our programming. So that reciprocal relationship works really, really well. We continue to do it with basketball, sometimes volleyball. If there's ever things going on with the pool at the wellness center, things like that, there's just a real give and take. And so the school district has been an incredible partner for many, many years in regards to moving back and forth on those things. And I still think with the potential improvements they're looking at, we'll still see that reciprocal relationship throughout.
Anything else you want to add? You guys good? Okay. Any other questions or comments from the council? Otherwise, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion in a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Kayla Coltman, Miller, Singleton, Strice, and Morgan, 7-0.
Thank you. Now you're stuck with us for 30 years.
Love it. Just signed my contract with Seward Public Schools. I'll be here at the end of the contract. I'll help renegotiate the next.
Perfect.
Morgan, you're gonna be here, right?
A little
Bryson,
old
you're
for
gonna
that.
I'll be up north, double miles.
On that note,
Sorry.
item number 2, consideration of a resolution permitting the mayor to sign an agreement for electric utility relocation in advance of NDOR project number BRO-7080, parentheses 56, Hillcrest Bridge. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. So this is the bridge on East Hillcrest across Plum Creek out towards Bluff Road. We are eligible for full 100% federal financing for this project. There are a few requirements of the local public agency, so City of Seward is the LPA. So one of those requirements is that the city enter an agreement with any utilities that are forced to relocate and compensate for having to force relocate those lines. In this case, it's power cables owned by Seward Electric, also the City of Seward. This doesn't happen very often. These are almost always county bridges, and there are other utilities, communication companies, or other electric utilities that are not owned by the county. We still have an obligation for the federal funding effectively to check this box. And so I did confirm with the project manager from Nebraska Department of Transportation. Indeed, this is not a mistake. We do have to approve this resolution and have the mayor sign an agreement. So there's the one-page resolution in your packet. There's a 5-page agreement between the City of Seward with the City of Seward, and an Exhibit A of disclosures and non-discrimination clauses thereafter. So with that, I ask for council approval on this resolution.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions or comments from the council?
One question, Rick.
Yes.
Roughly how long will this project take from start to finish?
They are suggesting that it'll take one construction season. It's projected to be bid in January of '26, and then be completed by the end of the calendar year. The bridge Seward South on South Second Street took 2 construction seasons. It's roughly the same bridge, design, size, length, everything. I think it'd be wishful thinking to get it done by Christmas of next year. So I'm expecting it to go into 2027. So, but it's entirely managed by the state. We don't know who the award contractor is yet, and we'll wait to see how that goes, so. Sure.
Any other questions or comments from the council? Otherwise, ask someone to introduce the resolution.
I'll introduce the resolution.
All right. The resolution has been introduced and is designated as resolution number 2025-37. Would anyone like to move that this resolution be passed and adopted?
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Taylor, Colterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
All right, thank you. Item 3, consideration of an agreement with JDO Consulting Group Incorporated for Seward water system field data collection in the amount of $26,500. Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you very much. So this is a short form agreement that we have with JEO Consulting Group. The city has selected JEO to conduct our next water system study. That'll be a far more extensive, probably 4 to 6 months worth of work. Budget over $200,000. We have not worked that budget out yet. We had a scoping meeting between 2 engineers with JEO, Greg, Brandon, and myself last week. However, to maintain a relatively short schedule, they want to conduct the field test yet this year. We only have a few days left that are warm enough to do the hydrant tests. What these are for is they do a series of 25 to 50 tests for the size of our distribution system network. They open up hydrants, they measure the flow of water as well as the pressure drop, and that allows us to calibrate. So with our GIS program that we have, we are going to create a model from that GIS work. It'll be very accurate. They'll use these field tests, and then they'll be able to create an electronic model. This will allow us, every time we have a new industry, PetSource use this information as well as dairy, and they're interested in what kind of flow and pressure they're going to get when they tap into the main. And so along with new developments, just like Prairie View, the model helps us in terms of planning how big our water main should be, where any pinch points might be. And so I asked for permission to initiate that process and approve this contract for a limited amount, $26,500, charged time and materials, up not to exceed $26,500, but for actual expenses incurred.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments from the council?
No, it's really great to have this on hand for you to have it, because someone will ask for it, and if you don't have it, then you have to scramble to get it done, so.
And again, just a reminder, we'll have another agreement coming up for the full study
Correct.
that this relates to. We're just trying to get out ahead of the portion of that full study, which is the field work that Mike's talking about, so.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Taylor, Colterman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
All right, item 4, consideration to designate Michael Onaby, license number E-17257, as city street superintendent for NDOT programming, requirements and incentive payments effective January 1st, 2026. Correct.
Yes, this is just a technicality. We did this, I believe, at the last meeting. This is a formal designation of Mike again, effective into the year to come. And so what we'll do is we'll send the minutes from this meeting in a year from now back to NDOT for some reason, and that checks the box correctly. But they were really particular this time about what motions need to be made and what they said. But so
What are the motions that need to be made specifically? Is there a wording we
Or
have
is
to
this
use?
it's literally what we put in the agenda this time. So, and we'll make sure in the future that the two items are separate items with each their own vote. So I think that was also, I think it was kind of getting lumped together as two things for efficiency before. And so we'll just make sure that Derek puts it in separately, and I'll take care of that.
Any questions or comments from the council? I'll entertain a motion.
Approved.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Gatto, Taylor, Colton, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
Okay, thank you. City administrator's report.
I'm in the agenda and I don't see it, so maybe we didn't get it in there? I don't know.
Just finished.
Yeah, it's not attached, so I'll give you a general update of what's going
It's
on.
amazing, guys.
I love
The
it, guys.
finest-
This is the
Finest
best
ever.
report and then just make
Sorry, I
it.
can't see.
There we go.
The predominant things we're working on right now, at the administrative level. The first one was, we went through and we did do eval reviews of all the employee evals with the department heads. So we sat down with the evals they performed, and me and Derek kind of did a coaching session through all those evals and just kind of talked through them. And so we did that with each department head, and it gave us an opportunity to kind of continue to provide a learning experience for our department heads through the evaluative process. We think the evals we're doing now are a lot better than when I came here about 8 years ago. It gives us an opportunity to really have that conversation with the employee, address items that need to be addressed, but also provide all those great kudos to all the great things that our employees do throughout the year. And we couldn't even speak highly enough about the response to the storms over the last year, especially the August storm. So it's a great opportunity to relive that and talk about that response and do those things. So we did that, and that takes up a lot of time for me and Derek to kind of go through all those, and we do a numeric analysis and all kinds of other stuff, but we completed that. Another big one that's eaten up a lot of the department head's time is the dairy project. And so we've gone out now and we're meeting weekly with the dairy team, sometimes multiple times a week on different items, but we're having all of our different department heads in their construction trailer with their engineers, electrical engineers, construction leads. Adam from the dairy team was there, or online. They're also available online. And then Jonathan is also helping out with those, just kind of watching from the economic development side, helping take minutes and things like that, making sure follow-ups are getting taken care of. But to really focus down in, there's a lot going on down there right now in the rail campus, obviously, with finishing up Worthman Boulevard, the temporary roads, the deliveries that are coming in, the site prep that's going on for Parker Baby, the construction of the dairy project, along with everybody else that's down there that's just trying to do their normal commerce. And so we're trying to manage all that, get in before the winters set in, and complete our projects. And so there's a lot of coordination, a lot of information, as the mayor talks about all the time. Communication has to meet expectation, so we have to communicate really, really well. And so that's why we're having these meetings specifically with that dairy team, just kind of talk about their path and their construction and what's going on and what we need to get ahead of, clarify anything and do that in person on site. And so we did one specifically today on wastewater and the manholes and other things, the metering that will go on there and our testing as dairy comes online, and discuss that item. We'll be back out at the trailer tomorrow for the general meeting, and then Jared and I on Thursday will meet with them specifically about electrical items. And so that's eating up a good amount of time. We got a lot of odds and ends going on that Maddie can attest to that came in today. Tree issues, stuff like that, that have kind of percolated. I don't know if it's the winter setting in. And then trying to just close out, I did do a 6-month review, and we're gonna do a monthly meeting with the wellness team, so all the full-time employees out there, to go over the progress of how the programs are going, like the before and after school program, our rec programs, kind of looking at financials. We're getting ready in December to go meet with Hugh and that gift, the substantial gift that was given to us. So Shane Bach, myself, and Joel will go meet with them and kind of clarify more of how we document the things that are needed to meet the wishes of the family in regards to how their funds are expended each year. Because remember, this gift is more for operations rather than for capital. And so that's kind of a new thing we don't run into very often. Usually people want to give you a donation that you put into a capital and stick their name on things. But so we're going to clarify that, kind of get that focus, and then I believe the first kind of tranche award will come out this summer of those investments that will be permanent for the Wellness Center's benefit. So those are kind of the big things that are hitting right now, and so we'll just continue to pluck away at those and get ready to head in for the winter months and some of the planning to get ready for construction season next year.
All right, any questions or comments for Greg? Other than entertain a motion to accept the report.
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Second.
The motion and second, please register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Scotto, Kaler, Coltman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
All right, thank you. Any future requests for council agenda items or administrative action? I stalled as long as I could, Jonathan. You're
the
up.
best, Mayor, thank you.
Upcoming events.
Kids,
Welcome.
music concert tonight. All right. We have Ambassador Call tomorrow, on the 19th. We have, individual membership ribbon cutting with Joe Mullenkamp, 3:30. And we have a groundbreaking ceremony at the Dairy Quarter, which is the former, dairy on East 34. We're excited about, both of those with our ambassadors. That's, and the groundbreaking is at 4:15. We welcome you to join us for those. We have coffee and convos for our Seward County Young Professionals Group, Bagels and Joe, on Thursday, November 20th. And of course, 15th Annual Christmas Festival on Saturday, November 29th. Thanks for the council's past support of our previous parade approval requests. And so we encourage the whole family to join us for that. And then Monday, January 26th, a little early, I'm just putting it on your radar early, will be the Chamber's Annual Awards Banquet. So annual event that we look forward to celebrating the accomplishments of businesses and individuals across our county. So we welcome you to join us as part of that event. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion and a second. Register your votes. Please display the votes.
Voting in favor, Francis Scotto, Kaler, Coltman, Miller, Singleton, Streisand, Morgan, 7-0.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a good night.